everyone, and welcome back to another ASMR crime video. Tonight, we are going to be investigating the question, what happened to Paige Doherty or Doherty? Paige was a 15-year-old girl who lived in Clydebank in Scotland, and on the 18th of March 2016 she went over to her friend's house to have a sleepover, and so they had a great time. And then the next morning after that, she left her friend's house to go to work. So Paige had a part-time job as a hairdresser. So yeah, she got up early and went to get her bus to work, or everyone thought that's what she did, because that day Paige's boyfriend realised that she had not contacted him yet at all. And after a while, he started getting a bit, scared, and he decided to call Paige, call her workplace. So he rang up the hair salon in which Paige worked, and he found out that Paige had not arrived at work at all that day. So obviously he was very concerned at this point and contacted Paige's mother, Pamela, who also confirmed that she had not spoken to Paige yet that day. And the mother and stepfather weren't that worried at first. They just thought, Paige was 15, and they obviously just thought that, they just thought it wasn't that serious and they weren't that concerned. However, when it began to get dark and late is when they started getting scared and worried about why Paige isn't returning home. So they decided to contact the police. One of the first things that police decided to do was follow through the usual route that Paige would take to the bus stop to get to work. And they discovered that Paige usually stops by on a small street where there's just like 5 small shops in a terraced basement. So they're all sort of lined up, and it's all just small little businesses in a neighbourhood. And every morning, whenever she went to work, she would stop there to get a breakfast or, just some food. So the police questioned one of the shop owners, who confirmed that he saw Paige that morning. He said that she waved at him and then walked into the deli shop to buy a sandwich for breakfast, or, so he assumed that that's what she went to buy. So the police, of course, proceeded by questioning John, the owner of the deli, who claimed that he did not remember Paige coming into his shop that day. And the police checked 3 hours of outdoor CCTV footage and saw, in fact, Paige entering the deli. However, they kept watching and they never saw her leave. So obviously the police grew suspicious of John, who was saying that he, lying, saying that she never came into his shop, into his deli, and then on the CCTV footage, she was never seen coming back out of that deli. Tragically, soon after this discovery, a man was walking his dog and discovered a body. This helped investigators conclude that whatever happened to Paige happened on her way from the bus, on the way between the shops and the bus stop, because the shops were the last time anyone saw her, and it would have been weird for her to have got on the bus and got to work, which it was in a separate town. It was closed, but it was a separate town. So it would have been weird, like, if she went to that other town and then someone hurt her and killed her there, and then brought her back to her hometown. That just wouldn't make sense. So investigators concluded that whatever happened to Paige happened between the shops and the bus stop. This narrowed the time window and area of when and where things went wrong. So the police returned to the shop and further investigated the rest of the CCTV, and they saw John Leatham, the owner of the deli, leaving the deli and closing his shop very early, much earlier than usual, to go buy bleach and bin bags in the shop next door. And a while later, CCTV caught him putting a full bin bag, so a bin bag that was filled up with something, into the back of his car. But they still, unfortunately, never saw Paige leave. Of course, John was found guilty and sentenced to a minimum of 27 years in prison. But this sentence was later weakened to 23 years, which I find, it's just... Anyway, but why did he do this? I'm just gonna give a brief summary of what John states to have happened, and this is the reasoning that he gives. Apparently, Paige entered his shop to buy a roll for breakfast, and they started talking, and Paige told him that she would like to start working at the deli, and this was very unlikely because from what Pamela, her mother, says, she says that Paige loved her job at the hairdressers, and that when she grew up she wanted to be a hairdresser, so obviously this job that she had was very good and very fitting for her. So she just didn't understand why Paige would want to start working at a deli. So then John says that he took her into the back to sign some papers and, application forms. When she allegedly started to threaten him, John says that Paige said that if he doesn't give her this job, she will tell the police that he touched her inappropriately. Which, again, just didn't make sense since she already loved her job at the hairdresser's. Why would she be threatening him? Anyway, John says that he got scared of this threat because his brother is a sex offender, and he says that he's seen his brother find it very hard to function in society and finds it very hard to get a job, and I mean rightfully so. That's the price he should pay for being a sex offender. But John says that after witnessing what his brother has had to go through, he decided that he doesn't want to end up like his brother. So he started stabbing Paige, which completely makes no sense. I don't see, being a murderer and being a sex offender, they're both very bad. So I don't see how murdering her would have made it any better if any of this even happened. So John said that, he didn't want to end up like his brother, so he started stabbing Paige. Paige was discovered with 150 wounds and was concluded to have been stabbed many times in the head and neck area, and that's just tragic. It's heartbreaking. And I honestly can't imagine what it must have been like for her mother. Her family and many others, of course, don't believe John's story, mainly because they think it's unlikely for her to even consider working at a deli. And, it's just very unlikely, but regardless, John Leatham is still in prison. And that concludes this story. Unfortunately, a very, very tragic end to, for Paige and her family. But, at least they can have a little bit of peace of mind that John Leatham is in prison. I hope that this video has maybe helped you sleep, relaxed you. Maybe you enjoyed listening to the case. And I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. And if it did, please, like it, subscribe it, share it, anything to help this channel would mean a lot to me. So, thank you so much, and hopefully I will see you in the next